push. Good luck split pushing against a Nocturne. That is one of the toughest champions in the game to actually play side lane against. Black Shield certainly would help a lot against the main form of engage there, which is going to be the Nautilus. Yes, the Nocturne can dive in, but I do think Morgana is a very intelligent pick. Also a very strong laner. Morgana, in addition to the Varus, not only sets up for the easy skill shots from the Varus, but binding into the ultimate of the Varus, into the ultimate of the Morgana. There is kill potential there, especially if they wanted to go for something, like the kind of more standard melee supports.
And now we're seeing Lissandra locked in, going to go into the hands of Null, and we have Big Coral. The thing that I liked, you pointed out Morgana, the Morgana Varus bot lane has been so successful for Falling Blue Buffalo in the past. And I do wonder, the Corki Hover, we'll find out what the final pick will be here in a second, but it is very hard to survive against this lane, and we've already seen Big Koro and Pal be very successful domestically. It feels like Fenerbahce have just kind of said, okay, bot lane, wow, survive.
Carry if you want to go really aggressively for that lane. Rune going to be taking Comet, which is hit confirmed by your harpoons. The E, every time you hit that, that slow will guarantee that land. So some nice little things to keep in mind there. And Bolulu also going to be going for Glacial Augment. So this is about building towards the Spooky Ghost, building towards the Super Soaker, and actually, hit confirming a lot of your skill shots.
Yeah, and then as we move later in the game, the immense teamfight power that a Sivir will inevitably bring when it's running a Nautilus, when it's running a Rumble into melee range of your entire team. I want to see how it unfolds. I want to see how this bot lane is going to do, but for Meliodas, who's very often the man on the side of Falling Blue Buffalo who dictates the pace of the game, I'm just curious, which lane will he give attention to first? Because it seems like the options aren't quite as clear as they may have been in games past.
Yeah, it definitely can be the case. I would say you can look towards mid, even with that cleanse, I think, especially, post 6 or even pre 6. If you're actually able to claw on top of that Vel'Koz, root him in place, if he cleanses that and he gets Body Slam Flash out of it, well, you're going to go down. And likewise, there's a lot of CC post 6 to change. You can see, though, that the Vel'Koz is able to actually push in with the W spam. It's harder for Lissandra to kind of keep up than it was in the past, so we'll have to track how that is going to go. And likewise, looking down towards the bottom lane, Big Koro and Pallet, this is a matchup they should certainly be winning 2v2, but I don't think they're going to expect a level 2 Nocturne gank.
Incredibly creative pathing coming in from Kira. They've been caught out already. They're going to get locked up. Big Koro needs to run for his life, but he's not even going to try for anything. He just goes down. First blood dropping already for Fenerbahce. That's going to speed Kira into this game.
I actually absolutely love that from Kira. That's such smart pathing. He went red straight to bot. There's no way you were going to expect that sort of a path from the Nocturne. And inefficient or not, throwing a curveball like that in a best of one, I think is actually a brilliant move here. They don't even have it warded out. There's no way the Nocturne should be down here this early on in the game. And Kira going to be able to grab that first blood, will clear Scuttle, work his way back up towards top, and will be put behind a little bit as far as experience, but at the same time, Big Koro losing some of his farm himself, and only has to be a bit careful there, but
yeah, I mean, credit to Pallet there, sacrificing a ton of his personal resources to catch that wave, to stop most of it from hitting the tower, to buy time for Big Koro as he returns to the lane. Very risky, but will pay off, and Meliodas suddenly finds himself in a bit of a difficult position for now until Nocturne backs. He does have the individual advantage before Kira can spend that gold, so Kira still giving him that respect, and
yeah. And the experience there is really the biggest deal, right? It is a level 3 Gragas, level 2 on the Nocturne. You certainly don't want to take that fight until you have your Spell Shield. Then you maybe have an opportunity to actually Spell Shield something critical like the Body Slam and be able to fight back with that lethal tempo in a longer fight. But either way, you can see Overheal, Strap Shield. That is so difficult to actually fight back into.
Zerasto extending the trade, trying to use the Conqueror to good effect. Needs to hammer swap, though, if he wants to get anything else for Ruin. Just moving in. He's going to get the first kill in the top side of the map. Second kill of the game. First kill for Ruin. And I feel like Zeros wasn't ready for this matchup.
No, definitely not. I mean, Scrap Shield comes back up. There's a fight for the blue buff, and Meliodas will grab it. But a solo kill this early on for Ruin is absolutely huge in this matchup. You're really going to start to outpace the damage that the Jace can put out. You can see how defensive he is going as expected. It's double cloth armor. So here it is. He goes into the overheat. He's going to get the bonus on the Scrap Shield there. Is getting a lot of damage out. Zeros a really nice trade back. Hits the Empowered Shock Blast, goes forward. But Rune kiting it out until the shield comes back up, then flashing forward for the auto. Really nicely done there by Ruin, and Zeros perhaps not quite knowing the limits of this Rumble pick.
And I'm going to be honest, when he leapt in as Rumble was about to overheat with Empowered, I feel like that is just a big mistake. Yeah, he extended the trade, he went for the Conqueror, but it just feels like Ruin must know the ins and outs better because he just played it so well. And when we talk about the last time two times these teams met, Ruin was also a massive contributor. I'll have to hold that thought as Only could be in trouble. One more auto, he's going to get taken down. It's a bloodbath on the bottom side, despite that first kill going over to Kirei. Big Koro loses his life, but just comes right back swinging into the lane.
Yeah, that was very, very well played there by Feng Blue Buffalo's bot lane. Pallet and Big Koro teaming up to actually knock down this Nautilus, who is going to be very vulnerable. You have a giant hitbox. If you do actually get nailed by the CC, you're going to be locked down for such a long time without any tenacity. But Meliodas...
And a TP committed as well. They know Rumble doesn't have flash. He's going to swap forms to go for the Empowered Shock Blast. That's going to be one man locked up. Kirei now running for his life. Ruin in trouble, set to fall. Overheats it now, trying to retreat. Gets a bit of damage down, but now will go down to Null in the exchange. Meliodas pulling back. Oh, though, on the way up. He's level 6 as well. Kirei, if he can get anything, is the slow going to catch on the Zeros. He's now set to fall once again. Is going to try to leap to the minion, but it will not be enough. Kirei now going to run him down. Zeros trying desperately, but Bolulu will grab a kill back.
That was a great roam up from Bolulu. The TP advantage for Null was spent up to the top side, and this was a critical kill to actually take down Ruin. I certainly think Fenerbahce could have competed or even just straight up won in the 2v2, so Null coming in was huge, but at the same time, Bolulu is actually pushed out mid lane. He has hit 6, he's on the way up, and that is why Kirei is actually staying around, trying to kind of bait them into sticking. This is just a great Q, hits it with the angle onto Zero, slows him down, doesn't even have to expend the ultimate or any summoners here on that roam, and Kirei gonna be able to reset this.
Equalizer. Meliodas has flash out. The last tick is not going to be enough. Ruin trying to find the snipe kill there, but everywhere across the map there seems to be action. Lissandra's back on the bottom side. Immediately they're going to go in. The chain CC is flawless. Pallet with a flash into the binding. Big Koro going to grab the kill. Only 35 potentially next on mid. You tries to pull him back. Pallet with the heal. Just not going to be able to escape. Good turn for Only, but still a big win for Feng Blue Buffalo.
Yeah, big hook there from Only to at least get one back, but Null is everywhere already. 2-0-1, 7 minutes in. TP's the top lane, roams down to the bottom lane. This is fantastic stuff from him. He is behind them. They spot him now. Not sure if Spell Shield was available or not from Hades. He does flash, but unable to actually get that Spell Shield down, which I'm going to assume was on cooldown. And then Pallet going forward steps a little bit too far. I do believe his teammates probably could have finished that one off without him. But either way, nice turn there from Only to at least trade one kill back.
And it feels like we got a few moments to kind of, you know, talk about the matchup. And now we're right into the game. There's a level 2 gang.
We're in it. This is Group A,
so
baby.
we got to check in. Isaac, we got 400 gold lead. Yes, the gold is very different spread across the map. If you are, I mean, if you are in this situation as Feng Blue Buffalo, do you keep trying to go top? Do you try to bail this Jace out, or do you just put everything into bot lane when they already have 2 kills?
I think it's going to be all about what opportunities Null actually sees, right? Where they can track the vision, where the lanes are pushing. You know, if the Rumble is going to actually expose himself to gank, sure, you can go right back up there, but for Meliodas, you have so much gank assist down here on the bottom side. This is level 6 now on Big Koro. He has flash ultimate available. There is no flash on Meliodas, but his ultimate to follow that up is pretty much a guaranteed kill. So if they can land any CC and set this up, it's lights out.
CC does immediately land. Meliodas is going to move in, try to take down Hades. Curious is on the way. Bolulu as well. They need to kill Only immediately. They need to get out of this play if they want to come out on top. Only now going to get taken down. Double kill drops to the ground. Kirei in the middle of everyone. Bolulu with the ult, channeling into the middle of the team. Should grab Pallet as well, but Pallet's still alive, taking down Burning. Meliodas will grab another kill. A triple for the Greg is now turned back. An absolute bloodbath on the bottom side.
Oh my god, this game is certainly delivering so far, and can't slow down now. Ruin up on the top side, looking to get aggressive onto Zeros. Everyone dies on the other side of the map, means they can't be up in the top side.
Null finally gets some alone time in the mid lane, and his entire bot lane is just... Neither mid laner wants to play in the mid lane. Azeo, that's what we're learning. Everyone wants to go somewhere else, and for Bolulu, gonna grab a plate, gonna grab a lot more gold. 3-0-1 Vel'Koz was already looking solid before that play, but is now looking even stronger. But of course, also the Rune Glaive, and now we're gonna have to see if Zeros can survive this play as well. Equalizer is laid down, Zeros flashed over the wall. Null just trying to retreat, trying to pull back here. Hades on the way as well. Doesn't have the ultimate of Meliodas. Hades may be the one who's actually caught out here. Moving forward with the body slam, chokes up on the spell shield, and now Meliodas will grab yet another kill. 4-1-1 on the Gragas. This man is getting everything.
Yeah, he really is. You hate to see that happen for Hades, though. The team calling for him to come up and help, and He strolls into his third death, but it really is not going to be feeling good. Already behind, Big Koro certainly on the play. Now here is the bot lane one more time. You can see Kirei and Bolulu. They were already roaming down very, very quickly on this. The CC was nailed though by PVB. You can see how well they're able to execute on these additional 2 kills. But then Kirei in there, proccing lethal tempo, getting so much damage out here. Bolulu with the flash ultimate, nailing everything, cleans them up. Pushes it in, gets a turret plate as well. He is very, very strong at this point of the game. Already has his first item, plus the stopwatch, plus the sword boots. He's going to be a monster, but bot lane certainly has been put behind. It's 2 more kills for Big Koro, as well as the farm advantage, and that is significant. But thankfully, Hades is on Sivir, a champion that can kind of sit back and farm and scale.
And has bought the coal as well, so it's just accepted that position on the team. He will be an alt bot, he will be a wave clear bot.
Reaver,
he's gonna he loves that item. He'll get it one more time. Kirei gonna try to take this opportunity to secure the Rift Herald. Of course, Rumble with the pressure on the top side can't help him, and you can see on your screen, Lissandra and Gragas on the bottom side, so this will be uncontested.
I just love how we're seeing a Vel'Koz matching all the roams of the Lissandra, right? You know, this is actually some fantastic play here from Bolulu. He's been so active on the map. It is very, very rare, I feel, to actually see this much map presence from a champion like Vel'Koz that you normally see just stationary in the lane, pushing out, but playing, you know, kind of much more of a defensive style.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, he just doesn't have the tools to escape if he ever gets caught out. But now we're going to have to ask Ruin the same question. He's just going to try to burn through immediately. Zero's taken down. No tools for him. Ruin grabs yet another kill on the top side. Traded for a Drake here, but really a fantastic position now for Fenerbahce to be in.
Yeah, and they have the Rift Herald. He could actually just straight up drop this if he wants. He is going to hang on to it, it looks like, on the side of Kirei. You know, Zeros does have TP, so he could come back up, but you want to see them try to get this out pre-14 minutes, certainly cashing in on the plates. We'll see where he does elect to go, but Hades and Only know they are playing weak side of the map, but they have to back off, knowing Gragas could be down here, and they are going to be punished for this.
Ooh, the ult's coming out, a good bit of chip damage, just trying to threaten Null, trying to push him back. He's not in position to stop the Herald from hitting, so it's going to be a huge chunk of gold, 2 plates for both Kirei and Bolu. And Kirei just walking forward. Great use of the spell shield there, forced to use the self-ult now, and that's going to be a lot of damage onto the tower.
Oh, but he has turret aggro.
Flashing forward, getting the ulti pallet, a madman in the middle of the team if he manages to complete this. Oh, goes golden in the midst. Meliodas in the way, and that's a big Gragas. They're going to get taken down. Kirei, they both go golden. They try to buy time, but the cask explodes. 1 and now 2 as well. The shutdown dropping for Null. Really
nicely done there for Meliodas, and I believe that was actually challenging Smite. That pulled turret aggro from Kirei, perhaps. You know, putting that down, that must be what it was. I didn't see a red buff on him, so we'll have to actually, you know, check that out if we do get the replay, because he pulled aggro as he was walking back through the turret away from Null. He was trying to zone and prevent the wave clear from Null so they could actually finish off the turret, but with Meliodas coming up. So let's watch this one more time. Going forward, yeah, it is going to be challenging Smite, so that's what I thought. Procs lethal tempo, pushing Null out. The initial play is great, but forgets about the burn that is going to be placed onto the Lissandra. Those couple turret shots is actually what turns this. If this is a full HP Kirei, they could perhaps win, but Paladin on the roam, Meliodas coming up, they are able to kill off both of them, and even Zeros making the roam down. This has been such an active game. People are everywhere. You really have to be tracking who is missing from what lanes, because they can show up anywhere.
And that's what we're learning. The combined kills per minute, incredibly high for both teams, more than 1 on both sides. And of course, we have 19 kills, 13 minutes into this game, but it clears that Fong Blue Buffalo are actually the ones coming out on top. They've taken that bot lane turret. They've taken a lot of plates in the mid lane as well, and now extending their gold lead to 2K alongside a Cloud Drake. Now we're gonna have to be careful. Everybody will just back off, and for the first time in a while, it feels like we have a true map reset, Azael.
Yeah. For about 10 seconds, and then we're going to have more kills, I'm assuming. But we can see Meliodas is at such a strong point in the game. He's sitting on double spell pen, you know, plus his jungle item already completed. You're basically at the point where you can one combo a squishy character, and that is so frightening, where anytime Meliodas can come into Fog and kind of one combo you. There's so much setup for that as well when you have CC from Pallet, Big Koro, Null, all there to be able to really just nail down any sort of CC and pretty much guarantee a kill from Meliodas.
And truly terrifying. Predator feels it appropriate Keystone, but Null actually one who's going to be fishing for a kill here in the mid lane. Knockup is going to come out, retreat from Pallet, flash back, uses the ulti binding, not going to stop it. Big Koro going to grab the kill. Big equalizer, but nothing else there to lock them down. They're going to be able to back away. Ruin Playing a little bit, getting some good damage down. Kirei now moving in, knowing a lot of those cooldowns are missing. The flash comes out. Will the re-engage go through as well? Claw not going to get taken. And both sides just going to back away, but another small victory for the side of Fong Blue Buffalo.
Yeah, Bolulu wanted to try to turn that around, and had it been a 1v1, I think he could actually get that kill, but Null has a stopwatch to delay, and when you are channeling that ultimate, you are easy pickings for the skill shots. Pallet nails the binding, the piercing arrow comes through from Big Core to clean that up, and they nail another kill. Just so proactive. Null going very deep here. Ultimate onto Bolulu. He does not have the cleanse, but look at him as he actually backs up, returning fire very well, but even with the equalizer coming down, not enough people are actually in the area for them to really go forward on this until Kirei arrives. Hades, though, pretty far back. They do not have Only with them, so it is going to dissipate.
And now, it feels like Fong Blue Buffalo just continuing to come out on top, but they're not able to extend their gold lead anymore. Keep fighting in the mid lane, need to break a few more of these outer towers, and while everyone else has been fighting, it feels like one of the real beneficiaries is Zeros on the top side, who for the most part has just been allowed to stay in lane and build up a small CS advantage.
Yeah, and that small CS advantage certainly is nice, but I do think even on the side of Rune, you're going to be pretty happy that the Jace has not been dominating lane whatsoever. You know you're going to be a team fight monster, and if you can match side lane and have more effectiveness in the team fight, then hey, you know, everything's kind of coming up aces for Rune. So we'll see, though, as PVB grouping very heavily, trying to threaten here.
Cass going to be forcing some flashes out. Kirei off to the side. Will threaten with
GB's
the fear.
coming in.
Now we have the Glacial Augment. It's going to slow 2 members down. 2 members right in the midst of the Equalizer. Meliodas is taking so much damage. Has the stopwatch available. Will he be forced to use it? Now just backing off. Zeros moves in and Power Shock Blast only hitting support and Ruin in that exchange. The ulti, though, now connecting on Ruin, one of the strongest members of the team, pulling back with the knockup is beautiful. Null, he's going to get time to self-ult, however. Hook manages to land on the bars. That's going to be massive, but he flashes out to safety. TP now coming in from the Sivir. She wants to join the fight. On the hunt could be massive. Is immediately going to use it. Kirei now trying to run into melee lanes. The flash forward from Hades. He wants to get a kill. They do manage to shut down Null in the mid lane, but the rest of PVB on the retreat. The sidestep not going to connect. Wall is going to get hit. Kirei immediately looking for the delete there. 1 kill going to get taken down. He's going to get 2. Big Koro turning it around in an instant. The Varus is just too strong.
Yeah, very strong there on the Varus, and it felt like for Fenerbahce that was actually quite an over chase. The initial kill perhaps was going to be there for them, but as they continue forward, they don't have their entire squad on the same team, and I think they have suffered, you know, at times in these team fights from people retreating as others are going forward. You know, Hades, they're not committing the teleport immediately to that fight as everyone else is committing, and the equalizer is dropped, but Only is not using his ultimate at the same time. So there's certainly some discord here. You know, Only not able to be in range to actually CC someone up into that equalizer. Kirei with the great spell shield, and then they decide they can actually look to push forward. But Hades this whole time is in the bot lane actually clearing the waves, so perhaps the call here is to retreat. They do make the turn though, and it is just now that we see the Sivir finally actually making that teleport. If Sivir had been there, you know, 5-10 seconds earlier, perhaps this is a very different fight. Now, as Hades is flashing forward, Kirei very low, Hades very low. Only does look for the hook, but Hades is actually heading down to the rafters. He's actually looking to farm that out, so the communication certainly not on the same page here. If you have multiple members diving forward while your Sivir is looking to farm the jungle, you're not on the same page.
And you can see it there, because they had so many great opportunities. They kind of caught the Lissandra. They kind of caught the Varus, but they didn't do any one thing together as a 5-man. And it does feel like it's starting to fall apart. You can see how strong Big Koro was in that last team fight. Disgusting amount of damage coming in from the Varus. And Sivir, of course, joined so late. The flash boomerang didn't even connect. Big Koro, though, going to throw down the ulti. Jace, though, off to the sides. May not be the best position. Big Koro strong enough, potentially, to carry that fight on.
Null.
Rest of the team here. Null in the midst of everybody going to try to lock
Kirei,
but use spell shield into it. Now going to be denied. However, the fight continues anyway. Zeros on the chase. Kirei has to flash out to safety. Going to try to find the disengage from the Vel'Koz. We'll use the Spooky Ghost combined with the Glacial Augment just to make sure that there is no chase. And Hades going to be forced to execute here. Jay's going to look for the Empower Shock Blast, but most likely will not have enough time. Turret going to take him down in the end.
Now, this is just an absolute bloodbath. 24 kills in under 19 minutes, but Fong Blue Buffalo certainly are the ones, it feels, dictating the pace of the game. I do like the defensive equalizer to try to keep the turret alive here. Meliodas, though, threatening on the side, and this guy is monstrously strong still at this point in the game. So a lot of respect has to be given, and here is this fight one more time. Null coming around behind Kirei. That spell shield was just sick from him. Immuning the ultimate, it does allow him to get out, but at the same time, Only is knocked down. Kirei has to flash, and they're still forced to have the execute come through from Hades. So, you know, Fong Blue Buffalo certainly coming ahead in these trades, and it's starting to show in the goal lead is it feels like they're the ones that are one step ahead on each play.
Now one step ahead and now items ahead. If you look at the bottom lane, of course, the entire Ginsu's combined with the Blade of the Rune King completed. Incredible power spike for the VAR. Sivir on that farm build, on that late game build with the Essence Reaver. Just a wave clear bot. And while Bolulu is strong, he's the Glacial Augment build, Vel'Koz. He's got a lot of these utility options for the team. And it's going to come down a lot to what Ruin and Bolulu can do together, but it's so difficult when you've got a super fed Gragas.
And you really want to see them also just be actually combining their abilities all at the same time here, right? Like you want to see Bolulu dropping the ultimate as the Equalizer is coming through, as they're CC'd up by only on the Nautilus, who is sped up by the Sivir. It's all about this combination here from Fenerbahce, right? And we've seen individual pieces showcased very well, but we've yet to see the full combination. And I think you have to give credit over to the Fengbu Buffalo because they are pushing the pace so fast, and it's not Fenerbahce that are choosing to engage. It's often them that are trying to respond and often struggling to do so.
And very tough as well to be in that defensive position. Only now caught out. Zeros is going to look for the chase down. Will he commit anything else? Bolulu is there to try to dissuade, but the Black Shield going to stop anything else. Zeros just going to grab a kill. Yes, his lane opponent is strong, but the support definitely not strong enough to go toe-to-toe. Arrow comes out. Hades at half health. A fight hasn't even started yet. Kira going to commit the ultimate, but I don't know where he's going to go here. There's not really an isolated target outside of the Jace. Does leap into the team anyway. Immediately uses the spell shield. Now pinned in by the Equalizer. Big Koro can't come to the fight, but Kira just barely going to dodge out there. Zero's still alive. Manages to take down Bolulu. Starting to do so much damage. The Maw of Malmorty is helping him turn as Null grabs yet another kill. Ruin running for his life. Will manage to escape in the end, but that is 3 members down. A 4th could just die here as Hades is getting chased.
And that could be the Baron. I think that is going to be the Baron. They're heading over towards it. We'll see if Fenerbahce can actually do anything about this. Hades does not have TP. He's on the bottom side of the map. These guys are low, but it's just only walking out on the map here. Support Nautilus trying to respond. Pallet may actually just die, and they do go a little bit too far. Big Koro perhaps needing to tank some of that up, but they wanted to keep the debuff off him so he could, you know, commit more damage to that. So thankfully for Fenerbahce, it is not the Baron, but it is still a ton of kills. And again, you know, not all engaging at the same time, not all really there on the same page. Their support is down. They know that Null is not here, so they look for the 4v4, but they've lost track of Zeros. And he comes over the wall, knocking down Bolulu, the strongest member. And he has that Maw online, so Ruin is not even able to actually trade back a kill as the Black Shield comes through. That is so much additional tankiness that you're having to actually work through on this Jace. And when both of your strongest members really are those magic damage dealers, it becomes so efficient.
Absolutely, and you know, Nocturne immediately goes to the backline. That's free license for Jace to try to 2v1 with all that MR, especially on the back of a great Gragas cast coming from Meliodas. And for Fengbu Buffalo, Azael, this is huge. Pressure was on for them. We said home crowd. You lose, you're out here. Your team does not get to see any more from you. Your region does not get to see any more from you. But when the pressure was on, they just kept upping the speed. Now, we can you know, chastise them a little bit. They went a little too fast. They went for that Baron. They weren't quite ready, but they are still in complete control of this game. It's a 4K gold lead at 23 minutes, and Fenerbahce, we're still waiting to see that coordination, especially as we wait for Sivir to get a few more items.
Yeah, and you know, it's just been such a good job by the Fengbu Buffalo, splitting the map, and now they're looking for Null.
Ulti coming in from Kire. Null, will we see him use the self-ultimate? May not have time, just barely able to get that one out. Healing up just a little bit, but the rest of the team is going to commit. Using the stopwatch as well. They want to extend this fight. Meliodas is on the way in. Lots of members grouped up. Predator is there. Will they commit? Some low health bars, but they decide to back off in the end. Fengbu Buffalo don't want to risk it all.
Yeah, he bought a lot of time, but Zeros is not there. The mini wave is actually crashing on that tier 2, so Zeros is behind them. It looks like Fenerbahce wants to start up this dragon. Zeros is in a pretty good spot to actually flank here.
Shock Blast just barely missing Hades. Now the ulti coming out. Zeros needs to run for his life. Nocturne is here. Sivir is on the way. On the hunt, though, not available. The rest of the team is split off. They're now trying to come into the fight, but Nautilus and Vel'Koz are on the backside. Redemption is here. Zeros is barely going to be able to walk in. Meliodas throwing out. Bar Assault is going to go wide, however. They found themselves caught in the pinch. Good news is Ruin does not have an ultimate available. They're now trying to back off. Glacial Augment throwing out so many members. Shut down onto the Gragas, and PVB caught out in the play.
Yeah, they're able to kind of wrangle them and push them out into this area, and now should be able to grab the dragon as a result. Null is up and on the map. We'll see if PVB want to stay around. Fenerbahce has been on the map for a very long time, and they're actually not feeling confident to take this. They will back off. I do think they could have tried to press for this, having the jungle advantage, and certainly, you know, having some very good engage to try to look to turn with both Flash and Ultimate available on Nautilus, but they will go for the safer option. Discretion being the better part of Valor, but now starting it back up, and they've kind of given a lot of time for them to get into position.
On the hunt now used from Hades. Black Shield coming out. Null been caught out in the mid lane, but the rest of the team fight is split. The binding is not going to connect. Null still the focus for the entire team. They want to shut down the CC and try to look for the turn. Only now keeping the fight going. Ruin ultimate just seconds away. Big Koro needs to run. Flash out to safety, pulling back. Knock up won't connect. Beautiful Black Shield. Only 35 though. May have overstayed his welcome. Now on the retreat. There's the equalizer to block off the rest of the team. Meliodas on the backside could be massive. Lots of low health bars. Where's the Gragas going to go? He manages to take down support. He managed to take down one more. That's 2 for the Gragas, but the Sivir grabbing one back. Vel'Koz as well. 2 for 2 there on the back half of that fight. And it looks like 3 for 2 overall.
This game is just so insane. These teams fighting back and forth, back and forth. Members who died at the beginning of the fight have respawned and are walking back out on the map to continue the fight once more. It did begin as it kind of ends here. Another pick over onto Null. They are looking for him, do take him down, but at the same time, Hades has been blasted by the Jace with a very low HP, so it's hard for their Sivir to actually enter the fight. And then this Black Shield keeping Big Koro safe, the critical member of the team. And as Meliodas arrives, Fenerbahce realizes they may be in some trouble here. Ruin flashes back to the team though, and despite the low health bars, they do make a concerted effort to turn and burst down the Gragas.
And you gotta say, the zoning equalizer from Ruin to push Big Koro back. Big Koro taking the time to go for the honey fruit there to try to heal up. Wasn't able to contribute. Gragas got in, yes, that's so much damage, but the follow-up wasn't there from the team. And now it's, you know, Fong Blue Buffalo maybe being the overconfident ones, maybe the ones not playing completely together on the same page. And great for Fenerbahce because they've now lowered the gold difference to 2K. Sivir's getting closer and closer to 3 items, and things are actually looking pretty good.
Yeah, they certainly are. And honestly, when you're going to play this style of game, it's all down to execution, right? You know, both teams are essentially just opting into fights. There is some side lane play, but it has mostly been all about the brawling. It's about communication. It's about execution. Who can make the individual outplays in these sorts of team fights? And as you say, Sivir has been kind of bought a lot of time to farm up. Coming in on that Infinity Edge, that 3-item power spike for Sivir is huge, especially when you have gone Essence Reaver early on. You know, that is a very, very powerful and expensive 3 items to complete.
Of course, it gets a bit of attack speed in the kit as well, so not going to be punished quite as hard as some of the other characters, and the power to ricochet through a team fight if PVB do try to fight in any kind of front-to-back sense. Still have Ruin, the strong foot on the side lane. Of course, Ruin with the TP available. Kira needs to step forward, but there's no vision in the pit. Ghosts are going to spot it out here for Bolulu. Slow on a lot of members of the team. 6K and dropping the Baron will be massive if they can get it. Pokes coming in. TPs are coming in. It's a small victory for PvP, but if they can disengage here, they get the teleport for free. Null needs to be careful. Will not get caught out. Just the TP used by Ruin. If PvP don't lose anything, it's a good play in the end for them.
Yeah, it certainly is. There is a TP on Null and Hades, so they do have members who can answer side lane waves. But certainly you don't want the Sivir alone in that side lane, and it will be Zeros with his teleport back before Ruin, which is kind of where that's going to swing back into their advantage. So we'll see if Fenerbahce can force a play before that. May certainly be what they're trying to look for, but I do think it was a smart start from the Feng Bu Buffalo, because you start that up, you force out the teleport, and then it was a full-on disengage. They knew that they were not going to commit to that. They knew they weren't going to commit to a fight where you're going to get AoE'd down by a Vel'Koz and a Rumble around the Baron Pit.
Yeah, well played, and once again, composure after what has been a very breakneck game, so credit to them for pulling back when they needed to. But now as we check in, you can see 3 items starting to come through for a lot of characters. Big Koro not opting for a rapid fire cannon or opting to transition into crit, staying fully focused on hit, and kind of a 50-50 defensive item in the wit's end. A little bit more damage output, a little bit more sustain, but also a nice bit of MR to deal with the Rumble, to deal with the Vel'Koz as well.
Yeah, and it's going to be a lot of magic damage that does actually reach the backline onto him. Certainly, you know, Nocturne could be diving back there, but having the Wit's End in combination with a Redemption coming through, the Black Shield coming through, is going to make it very difficult for things like the Vel'Koz ultimate and the Rumble ultimate, who can have that backline access to just kind of be able to burst you down. And as you said, it's also that double life steal. So if you have the opportunity here as Big Koro to stand and fire with a stacked Rage Blade and lethal tempo, you can shred through this team.
Absolutely can, but now you are facing a 3-item Sivir on the opposite side. Enough time to farm, enough time to scale up. The Cole as well. Hades finally at an even point with the opposition in terms of raw item stats. And Meliodas, it is not the stopwatch, it is the Zanya's, so not quite as embarrassing, but still definitely not a cooldown. You just, you know, lizard brain takes over. You get scared, you push the stopwatch, you're not sure what's happening. Small engage on the stream, but no one's going to fall out there quite yet. PVB trying to use that Jace to just poke out a bit.
Yeah, it's not as bad, but it still doesn't feel good. You know, it's a matter of degrees there, and especially as the AP Gragas, you really do depend on having that Zonias to be able to survive, you know, not just make it a straight up one-way trip. either way, having a great game for him and may not be punished whatsoever for that. We'll actually see if they can find any opportunity to do anything about it. But I don't think Fenerbahce even spotted it, so probably will not be impactful.
Yeah, now you can bluff for the next 15 seconds. These guys own you guys, we can't do anything. Laugh to yourself if you're Meliodas. Little do they know, I threw it away. And the nice thing that we rarely get to see with Predator, exclusive kind of to Predator Gragas as a champion, is that with, you know, Ingenious Hunter, you get cooldown reduction on it too. So it's up pretty much every fight.
Yeah, I mean, he already has it back. It's actually pretty insane how short the cooldown is there. So certainly not punished by any means. And part of the reason we're seeing Zeros group is because of this.
Yeah, fantastic. Nocturne using the ult into the side lane, the flash out to break the fear at the last second from Zeros, but needs to be careful because Ruin is coming too. Ruin, unsure, he's being baited. Zeros now needs to retreat. It will just be a pure 1v1 if they want to extend it, because the rest of the team has now started up to Baron. TP is available for the Jace. He needs to get back and heal, but then he can come to join the fight. No other resources are going to be available. Of course, Ruin's TP not there, and now moving back to the bottom side.
Yeah, and well played there by Hades, just walking forward with the Sivir ultimate, threatening the possibility of that engage, and it does make PVB back off, so they do get flash off Zeros, and that is honestly why the Jace has been forced to group so much. You may be wondering why he's not playing more in the side lanes. Well, that is going to happen. You're going to get answered by the Nocturne constantly, and in that 2v1, you will go down. He does have a lot of MR, you know, kind of with this Maw and the Mercury Treads, but that will not keep him safe against this Nocturne, who now has a GA, and that is going to be a very strong next fight that they are looking for.
Aeroso now trying to find the pick onto Bolu. Bolu going to have to flash to save to the Equalizer is the response. Ruin, of course, level 3 Equalizer here, but not going to connect on any members more than one. Now retreating. Pala trying to turn. Big Coral going to be caught out by the Nautilus, but there's no follow-up. Predator used. Meliodas looking for a pick. The rest of the team now retreating. The support now locked up. There should be one kill heading over to Fong Blue Buffalo. They get the pick. Fenerbahce are forced back. Yeah,
Fenerbahce committing so much to that as well, honestly, dropping the Equalizer as well as the Vel'Koz ultimate onto a black shielded Jace, who has a lot of MR, was not really the play, I think. It's very unlikely you're going to be able to finish him off, and then when they actually caught Big Koro, they didn't have the cooldowns to actually finish him off. So if you watch this initial play, Zeros nails a nice shock blast onto Bulu. He does actually shoot the slowdown the wrong direction, which forced him to flash out. But now this is a very tanky guy. He has the black shield. You spend all your cooldowns. Imagine if you still had some of these for Big Koro right as he's caught here and the Equalizer is dropped in that pit. That would be much more effective. But without those cooldowns, they do have to retreat. It costs some flash off of both the Sivir as well as the Vel'Koz. It costs some flash on Ruin, a lot of key ultimates. So a very expensive fight for Fenerbahce that also results in PVB grabbing a Mountain Dragon and making that Baron even more approachable.
Now the good news is that Baron not quite 100% on the table, as the Scuttle Crab has been taken, and we are late enough in the game that with max rank Equalizer, that losing that cooldown, it is back up in time for a major fight. So Fenerbahce, while they may not have the flashes, those obviously terrible thing to miss in the coming fights. They will have at least their key ultimates if they can execute.
And especially when you don't have a QSS on the Sivir or anything like that, you're depending so heavily on the spell shield to be on point. You know, there's not really any room for error if you do actually get nailed by any of this CC, and there's a lot of it. You're probably going to be in a lot of trouble. So then it becomes down to only to be able to kind of create this space for you. And in they go. I don't know, they knew they were all there.
Right, GA is going to get procced here, pretty much uncontested, but a lot of damage down to the Big Core. Big Core needs to get out safety. His GA procced as well. Kirei, can they take him out? The lockup is there. Big Core now needs to get out. The Black Shield available. He has a lot of sustain. If he can just keep auto-attacking, no one else is there to follow. Big Core still alive. Health bar incredibly low. Zeros on the back line is going to be massive. The body slam forward, the double kill, and the ace for PVB.
They're just going to march it down mid. I think they could actually end the game perhaps, if not just take a lot of inhibs. I think Zeros realized that he didn't need to TP top. They're actually going for the end. 30 seconds. The fastest death timer there. They have minions. This should be it.
PVB on home soil looking to qualify for the best of 5 up against Team Liquid. They have enough time to end the game. Miscalculations would be dire, but it looks like they've got it. They will not overstep like the Baron. They know this one is their site. They have the damage on the towers, and in a moment, a career-defining moment, PVB take down Fenerbahce and will move on to the bracket stage.